Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. You all are not 50 Cent being uncovered for being ASA Defender. Several individuals have timed this tea about him sometime prior, yet most of us are just barely getting up to speed after 50 ridiculed Michael Rainey Jr, who was a casualty 2 or 3 days prior while on a live stream with Tallow James, while a great deal of fans showed support for Michael 50 Cent rather ridiculed him, and excused the circumstance well. Michael isn't going to let this slide since he opposed 50 Cent and disgraced him for being uncaring. It's sort of abnormal that 50 Cent would do that. Thinking about that, he has been the significant voice in censoring Diddy for his say claims. He has freely offered help to Cassie and different ladies who have been supposedly say by Diddy. In the past, he even reported that he was working on a narrative on Diddy's charges, saying Diddy do it coming soon. GLG Greenlight Posse and another, he likewise said, rapper, I thought Diddy was a tycoon music investor, assuming he's savvy. He will seek financial protection now. Anybody with genuine cash realizes that. Reason why I'm saying this, I'm the most ideal gold client for the gig folks. Here comes the receipts. He likewise asserted that he would give a part of the benefits from the narrative to casualties of say, and he was commended for this. Fans brought up that most men in the business don't stand it. Opposition to say, and everybody couldn't quit discussing how he was making the best decision yet. Presently, with his response about Michael Rainey Jr, fans are currently assembled into a two in understanding that he narrative and him savaging Diddy were not on the grounds that he thought often such a huge amount about the paper, but since he was glad that his long-term operation Diddy was getting uncovered and destroyed for some reason. Michael Rainey Jr. went on a live stream with Tallow James Jr. when T's younger sibling acted way off the mark. Lil had welcomed Michael on his live stream, and things were going perfectly until T's sister came into the image and got Michael down there. He has worked a task. He has an excess of $1 million. You have never worked. You never did anything. In a real sense, have 5 minutes of max in here. Then you got to get out. Okay, 5 minutes. You know how much 5 minutes? No doubt, they've never worked a task. They've never worked a task. Many individuals in the room saw this episode and found it entertaining, including Michael, who snickered along anyway in spite of his chuckle after it was apparent he was very awkward with what happened when Tylo's sister contacted him. Michael noticeably frowned and moved away, plainly flagging his uneasiness with being contacted as such. Notwithstanding his response, he didn't obviously object, which was likely deciphered as acknowledgement anyway. Michael disapproved of the circumstances, and this feeling was shared by fans who condemned both Lee and his sister cruelly. They hauled the sister for not considering individual limits and contacting others without their consent. Tyle likewise faces some brutal analysis for seeing the episode without interceding with what is happening, which was heightened when he went live and seemed to guard his sister's activities instead of addressing the distress caused to Michael. Expression of my mom, I'm attempting to, in a real sense, disregard this. Yet I'm getting text the energy moved and just got up and left like all that truly made me, like all side truly made me when Cody's one. When individuals come, this is your den. It's about neighborliness, that implies. All that quit advising me to overlook cuz I attempting to disregard he was spamming it that got me truly feeling the way on the grounds that brother I associate with big names all day. You feel what I'm talking. About, like, in any event, when I initially began my initial, not many big names, don't get me wrong. I do surprising no homo, like nothing insane, like I'll resemble you like I be attempting to record, get the video picture, whatever yet, due time you feel what I'm talking about that don't actually. We as a whole, eat we as a whole, the equivalent yet she never seen someone that Cal type, so she start you feel what I'm talking about, and that is my sister, so like I won't not say anything, I'm going. Oh, simply check and tell her, as you didn't become aware of it, that we as a whole should say, on the off chance that he's hanging around for me, he's here for your family. Sunday dealership. Each Sunday you feel what I'm talking about. I got individuals letting me know. You became mindful of who you have around when these individuals come. For what reason would it be a good idea for me? I, as a whole, feel what I'm talking about. It can't avoid being, it's we as a whole got a shared understanding, and it's about regard. It got me stupid, distraught brother, like, nothing got me. Nothing at any point got me more distraught than this brother that was muddled, and Michael in the end needed to address what is happening. He said right now everybody has seen the video coursing on the web. I'm still in shock and don't completely know how to deal with what happened. The previous evening, this was so awful that I supported it in no way. I can't trifle with it, since I realize I would be in some hot water if the jobs were switched. The truth of the matter is that paper is never okay. Paying little heed to orientation or status, we are in general humans, and we ought to regard each other above all. We ought to continuously regard ourselves. Soon after the episode, insiders guaranteed that I had talked with a legal counselor about the chance of suing Tal and his sister. Purportedly, Michael expects to record a claim against Tal's sister for SAA. What's more, against Tal for establishing an unfriendly climate where the occurrence happened, particularly in light of the fact that he neglected to mediate or check on his sister. The danger of a claim obviously put the anxiety toward God in Tal, and he in the end apologized, saying that after the activities that happened during my live stream the previous evening, I might want to truly apologize to Michael and his family for what occurred. What she did was extremely unseemly and unsuitable. I am really humiliated and nauseated by the activities he proceeded with. I totally regard anything course Michael needs to head down the circumstances subsequent to watching the clasp. I was totally reclaimed by what she did. I will play it safe with future streams to stay away from comparative issues that have prohibited her from partaking in later streams. Now, a great deal of fans were on Michael's side, with the exception of 50C, who Michael works for. See, Michael chips away at the show power, featuring Tariq in the role of Tariq. 50 Cent is the chief maker on the show, so he is somewhat Michael Rainey's manager presently. Given that he has been discussing Diddy since the year began, you would imagine that he would censure this episode right well. No, rather he ridiculed the circumstance and joked Michael for calling it Say. Said stand by Say, according to a male viewpoint, this was a forceful development. He's fine. No charges are being squeezed this our fans the incorrect way, and he was hauled for foulness about his bad faith fan. Began to bring up how his ex and child mom Daphne Satisfaction had blamed him for exactly the same thing when Lil Bar uncovered in his claim that Daphne was supposedly filling in as Diddy's laborer. 50 Cent quickly began savaging her and hauling her on virtual entertainment. He said, I didn't realize you a specialist, you laborer yo. This is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you moved a pretty far in order to have one more child with me, however I was occupied, so you moved back and afterward you began getting cash from sibling adoration. Now here we are, little laborer yet. Daphne was not going to allow him to triumph. Ultimately, the last say in this show, she made an announcement on Instagram blaming him for being essentially as terrible as Diddy and abusing her. She composed, everything is a joke to you until our well-being is compromised, which is happening now. You are unleashing genuine devastation, free for all, and bedlam onto individuals' lives. We should put the genuine spotlight on your actual malicious activities of saying me and truly mishandling me. You are no more my oppressor, and my God will deal with you. Starting here on, you have forever harmed the last expectation I have for you as a dad. You have broken our hearts for the last time. So with this, it's not exactly shocking that 50 Cent would attempt to disgrace Michael while shielding Tylo's sister's activities. It turns out that his analysis of Diddy was over their well-established meat, and not since he was especially against or rebuffed by Diddy's activities in light of the fact that purportedly he has really depended on exactly the same thing. Fans remarked, 50 Penny's representative Michael Rainey Jr. was openly angry, and 50's reaction was to affront him, gaslight him, and excuse what is happening to all men's emotional wellness. Mindfulness Month, men couldn't care less about different men. Obviously, 50 Cent excused Michael Rainey Jr. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.